Happy New Year, everyone! We have a new Gavan Infinity trailer with details. Speaking of trailers, a new Garo trailer has also been released. Ultra 7's banned episode has been unbanned? All this and more. I am the Kaiju no Kami, and this is the Toku and Animation News Network. Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. Welcome to 2026. It's been like, I don't know, 13 hours as I'm recording this, and nothing has gone wrong so far. So that's good, right? Seriously though, I hope you all had a great New Year's. We had a fun time. We ended up going to Daytona Beach for New Year's, not intentionally, but when we ended up driving out somewhere to look at, it's like, oh, Daytona Beach is only 20 minutes away. Why don't we go there? Then we found this really cool mall-looking thing, went out there, saw the beach, hung around for a little bit, had food, and then we went home before midnight because it's a 90-minute drive from Daytona to our apartment. And we didn't want to be on the road with drunkards and basically not getting home till like 2 a.m. Even though I guess I didn't actually go to bed until after 2 a.m. Well, I didn't fall asleep till after 3 a.m. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, we've got a bunch of news for this news update. First, let's start with Gavan Infinity. A new trailer has been released, which has revealed to us the three Gavans. There's Gavan Infinity, the red one. There's Gavan Luminous, the gold. And Gavan Bushido, the silver, who looks like a Don brother. If you look at his suit, it totally looks like he was taken right out of Don Brothers. So there's going to be three Gavans. Apparently they're from three different universes. So they travel into one new universe. There's apparently going to be a black version, which some people are wondering if it's going to be Mad Gallant from Just Beyond, which would be kind of cool. The Gavans each have their own weapons. The sword, which again looks like a Don Brothers sword. They have, or at least Infinity has weapon attachments from Cosmo Gavorian, which is a fleet of ships that transform into weapons, and the main one seems to also transform into a giant robot. It's basically Tegasword's son, as it were, or, well, I guess technically since Tegasword has a son, it would be Tegasword's distant cousin, from what it seems like. And all these attachments are just the stuff that instead of coming from 5 different warriors, it comes from 1. They have batteries called Emor gears that they use to transform, and each one has an emotion, a face on it, similar to the Gachazos from Gav. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but it did work for Gav, so maybe? The head writer is going to be Tomioka, who gave us Boom Boom Jers, so that kind of also puts some fears at ease. I mean, admittedly, I actually don't know if I even have any enthusiasm for this show. Not because it's replacing Super Sentai, just because, I don't know, something about a modern Gavan, modern Metal Heroes type series doesn't work very well. There's just something about Metal Heroes, well, specifically the Space Sheriffs. I don't know what it is, but there was just something about when they happened in the 80s, that was the prime time for them to occur, and I don't think they would have worked any other time in history. They were too advanced for the 70s and too adult for the 2000s. I don't even think they could have been handled well in the 90s, but there's just something about the Space Sheriffs that makes them different from other Toku shows, and I can't really describe it. I mean, obviously, Sharavan is my favorite Metal Heroes show overall, and one of my favorite Toku shows, period. But there's just something about the Space Sheriff trilogy that just doesn't work in the modern day. It's like The Simpsons. The Simpsons was prime in 1990s, and it just, after the 2000s, it just doesn't have that same feel. Horror movies were the same way in the 80s. When you came into the 90s, something changed. I don't know if it's because the film stock got prettier and you lost that grain, or what it was, but there's just something about horror movies filmed in the 70s and 80s compared to the 90s where they look high budget, I guess is the way to put it. So there's just something about the Space Sheriff trilogy that is really special. And I can't explain it. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about, what I'm saying here? But either way. So I'm kind of having these mixed feelings on Gavan Infinity, but we'll see how things go. Rumor has it the Tokusatsu has licensed it, so it would be pretty cool to get a Superhero Time live stream. That would probably be the only way I would be actually willing to watch Infinity. I'm at the point where I am just sick to death of downloading new episodes every week through fan subs. I'm tired of it. I just want to watch the shows legally. And I was downloading the recent Gojuger episode for us to watch because we're going to do a live stream of that probably Sunday. And I was just like, oh my God. I am so tired of constantly having to download episodes. But it is what it is. Speaking of downloading, while I'm thinking of it, if you didn't hear, the banned Ultra 7 episode has been released up on something called Nico TV or something like that. Fully remastered in 4K. So naturally, 2 fan subbers have gone and subbed it. There's Kaida subs, who just basically took the old translation that was going around and synced it up with the new version, and then Flame subs did a full-on brand new translation of the show. So it's nice that we can finally watch the banned episode of Ultra 7 in high quality. Maybe this is a sign of things to come. Maybe by the time the Alliance Entertainment 4K comes out, I guess later on this year, now that it's 2026, that maybe that episode will be included. It would be kind of cool, but we'll see what happens. But I am tired of downloading new episodes every week. And I know I don't have to, but I'm just tired of downloading fan subs in general. I actually, a lot of times, I wait for a full series batch to be out before I even bother downloading series these days. I would just rather download the whole series in one. I mean, there's been fan subbers that they'll release like 10 episodes and then just stop. And I understand things happen in the real world, but what's the point of me downloading 10 episodes and that's it? Just my little pet peeve. But anyway, so Gavan, new stuff coming out. Shirakura has done some recent interviews, and he talked about that they actually originally planned to have ended Sentai with Zenkaiger. They just couldn't figure out what to end Sentai with, so they kept going. Which actually, for one thing, makes me think of, that actually explains why Black Kaito was in Dawn Brothers. Because if you watched my Akiba Ranger review, they make the comment that whenever a new franchise is started, they need some type of character from a previous series to carry over into the new one to make the network feel at ease. Well, it wouldn't surprise me then if they had originally been planning to make a new franchise after Zenkaiger, and they hired Kaito's actor to continue to be in the new series, only to go, well, actually, we're going to just make another Sentai series. But since we've already signed him up for another show, I guess he's part of that new show. I mean, we've got a great actor, we might as well use him. So I have a feeling that's actually why we had Black Kaito, and why nothing was truly ever done with him in relation to the Zenkaiger Kaito until that awful movie that just yeah, let's not talk about that. But so I'm starting to think that's why Kaito was in TAANN Brothers. It wasn't just because they wanted to carry over Sentai into TAANN Brothers. It's because they didn't know what to replace Sentai with. Because Shirakura even has gone on to say that they decided that Sentai would actually end with Gojuger before Gojuger premiered, which kind of does explain the promotional material when they had Gold Ranger be 50 going all the way backwards to Gojuger. Although it does make a comment weird where one guy said that Gojuger was going to be the start of the next 50 years, but maybe he didn't specifically mean the start of Sentai for 50 years, just the start of whatever Toku franchise would supersede Sentai for the next 50 years. So it's kind of a weird comment now that we know what is actually happening going forward. But then again, what he said could also have just been PR talk to hype up Gojuger, which, let's be honest, is not a great Sentai series finale. But then again, Zenkaiger would not have been a great series finale, and it kind of actually explains why Zenkaiger and Gojuger were subpar. They're written by like Toei's D team. They're series that they didn't care about because it was the end. So they just wrote it and said, do whatever, we don't care. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, the show's ending. And then when they decide not to end Sentai with Zenkaiger, they're like, well, crap. Let's see if we can do something cool for the next few years. And that's why we got TAANN Brothers and King Oger, and even some of the aspects in Boom Boom Jer that were new. But it is what it is. Krillika is actually launching a new, well, what she hopes to be a new video series called Tokunomics. I already have the first episode uploaded. I will release it probably, if not tomorrow, Friday, probably Monday or Tuesday next week. Well, not Tuesday because I think I have a Godzilla comic review, but probably Monday then. I will launch her new Tokunomics series, which the first episode is on the cost of Tokusatsu. How much it costs to make an episode. And is Hasbro really responsible for Super Sentai ending? Because that seems to be a big topic these days, because everyone is just assuming Hasbro is the reason Sentai ended. Which also is weird, because if they were planning to end Sentai with Zenkaiger, Power Rangers was still airing at that time, because wasn't that the year Power Rangers Dino Fury premiered? I think so. So I don't think that, I'm wondering if Zenkaiger was the end, would people still blame Hasbro? Probably, because they blame Hasbro for everything. Don't get me wrong, Hasbro has made some dumbass decisions, especially in recent years when Cox took over, but it's not their fault. Now, we also have a trailer for the new Garo series. The Southern Tower or something like that. Siege of the Southern Tower. Eastern Tower. Realm of the Eastern Tower. The trailer looked pretty good. I actually kind of got feels for Resident Evil 4's Island section of the game with how everything looked like of this desert-like area with a temple and all this stuff. I'm kind of intrigued. The suits looked pretty cool. I'm just hoping this is a full-length series again and not another half series. And it's much better than Heir to Steel Armor was. It is kind of weird, though, to see how much older Ryuga is at this point. That's like, well, at some point they're going to have to pick start another brand new Garo series. But I do like getting to see Rian and Ryuga back, even if this is for like the final time. Maybe he'll pass on his armor in this one to a new Garo. But either way, looking good. They did say that it will be streaming on their YouTube channel. No idea if it's going to have real subtitles or those AI abominations. I'm hoping real subtitles. But if I'm going to review the show, I would have to download fan subs anyway. So I would probably just watch it that way then. if they're going to use AI subtitles. But we'll see. There has been the new Ultraman series name has been trademarked as Ultraman Theo. That's all the information there is. We probably won't hear anything else about Theo until March, I believe, was when we've heard about Omega and the ones before it. Zets, Kamen Rider Zets has ended its first arc. Overall, I did enjoy it. It's not the greatest series ever. Gov is definitely a stronger show, but I have been impressed with how much build-up there has been. We've had, the whole arc is basically one Kamen Rider, which has been nice. It's usually Takahashi throws in a million riders but within the first several episodes. So this has been a nice change of pace. Right now, I will say it is Takahashi's best Kamen Rider show, but that could change. I do like the form changes for Zets. Especially the new one was quite striking. And it is a bit slow moving, but the slow burn has been worth it. I am curious to see how things continuously build up. Like I said though, it's not perfect by any means, but it's been really solid. I know Shirakura has said that Zets has met his expectations. It hasn't underperformed, but it hasn't exceeded them in Japan. I know the producer from the show, when he came to LA Comic Con, said that they were quite pleased with the turnout in America. So I'm hoping that is indeed the case still. Maybe it can lead to some more physical media releases for Kamen Rider, which would be nice. Come on, Shout Studios, or whatever you're going to go buy now with the new company that owns you. But would be nice to get some new Kamen Rider releases. And what was... Oh, and Shirakura also said he actually wants them to start doing a Kamen Rider movie series. So something completely separate from the TV shows, just full on a movie universe. That would be pretty cool to have movie original Kamen Rider stories. I'd like that a lot. I think that would work out well. And then especially if they were to bring those to America, I'm wondering if they're still planning to do like the American original Kamen Rider series they were talking about and the Brazil original series. We've got some good stuff on the horizon. Power Rangers at Disney has apparently been fully greenlit. Last I heard, which I think was recent, or maybe it was an old article, but apparently Disney has fully greenlit the next Power Rangers series to premiere early 2027. We'll see how things go with that. It's going to be a fully original show, hoping that is indeed the case. Now, little looking at the channel from the last year. Last year I celebrated the channel's 10th anniversary. I acquired 10,000 subscribers. Well, I'm closer to 12,000 at this. 10,000? 12,000. I'm at like 12,000 at this point, but I'm at the point where now the numbers keep fluctuating. Like I was at like 1290, 1298, then it dropped to 1280, then it went up to 1288, then it dropped to 1270, and then 1263, then it slowly crept back up, then it dropped again. So I'm like at this weird thing where I'm like, okay, so YouTube must be purging old accounts again. But it just was kind of interesting to see. I was like, oh, I'm almost at 1,300. Oh, nope, not close now. Or, no, not 12,000. No, I was 10,200. Yes, that's what it is. 10,200. Not 12,000. I just ignore what I just said originally. All right, but I will say, I had a busy year last year. I focused so much on the channel that I didn't really give myself a lot of time for me last year. I was just trying to push getting as many videos out as possible. One, because I wanted to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I was really hoping to get my ad revenue up to $1,000 a month because we really could need it. I am at $200 a month, so all that pushing I was doing was for naught. And I ended up burning myself out. And on top, moving the stuff with my dad, who is going to have to be put into a nursing home. My mom told me at Christmas that there's no way he's going to be able to go back home. The muscles in his legs are just completely fizzled out from his Parkinson's, that there's nothing they can do, so he's going to need to be put into a nursing home, which probably for the best, given my brother. But I really burnt myself out last year. There were times where I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this channel anymore. I think I just want to quit right now and then. And let me go over, okay. So, average I've done for full-length Toku series has usually been between 7 to 12 Toku series, depending on the year, depending if I do shorter series or longer series or how it goes. But 12 is usually a lot. Well, this year, and it's not just with Toku, because I also did do Ninja Turtle reviews. But let me go over all the full-length series I reviewed last year, or seasons. Okay, full-length reviews I did. I did King Oger. I did Boom Boom Jur Part 2. I did Gojuger Part 1. Then I did the Jew Ranger re-review, the Dai Ranger re-review, the Kaku Ranger re-review, the O Ranger re-review, Akiba Ranger. So that's 8 Sentai shows right there. That's not including the ones that I kind of like refilmed new scenes from the old review and made the add-on for the anniversary movie and all that stuff, or a few changes like the Abba Ranger, Hurricaneger, and Go Kaiju movies. I know I still need to do Deca Ranger. It's the only one I haven't done an update version for. It's gonna have to wait. But okay, so that's 8 Sentai series right there. Then I did Kamen Rider V3, X, that's 10, Amazon, that's 11. I also did Jan Person for Metal Heroes. That was because G-Bun I got out the year before. So just Jan Person. Let's go with that right now. Jan Person. I did Ultraman Zet. I don't think I did Blazer. I'm pretty sure Blazer was the year before, but I could be wrong. But right now I'm not counting Blazer. So that's 13. All right. Then I did Garo Makai no Hana. Oops, that's 14. And Tales of the Makai, that's 15. Now, the next two, I'm counting because I did full-on re-recordings of the entire review, and I had to include some new footage and updated footage, so I'm counting these, but that was also Wind Spectre and Kamen Rider Black RX, so that's 17. Then, Ninja Turtles Seasons 1, 2, and 3. So that is 20 series reviews I did last year. That's not counting the movies. That's not counting any quickie reviews or anything else. That is just straight up full-length series seasons reviews. 20. That was a lot. And again, add on top the time we spent moving to Florida, the stuff that happened with my dad. I just completely burned myself out. I was just done. Like these last few months, it was a struggle to get my O Ranger and Akiba Ranger reviews done because I just didn't want to work on them. Amazon took me a bit to get through because I didn't want to work on it. So yeah, I this year need to slow down on my release reviews. Obviously, I'm not going to reach $1,000 a month, so trying to pump out as much content to reach that is, or I should say pump out as much full-length content to try to reach that, it is not the way to go. Now, so I'm going to slow down on my full-length reviews, which I'm going to go back to more of not trying to pump them all out, but I'm going to just pace myself better. This year, I did start watching Kamen Rider Denno. I'm 4 episodes into that, so that I am still planning to finish the Heisei Phase 1 era for Kamen Rider with Denno and Decade this year. So that's a given. We are currently 16 episodes into Soul Brain, so I will be doing that. And I did just get a seed draft, if you saw my video for the unboxing. So there is that. That's 4 reviews planned for this year. I do want to tackle more Ninja Turtles. 1 or 2 seasons to that. And I'll decide from there. But those are going to be my main objectives for this year. Finishing Rider Heisei Phase 1. And tackling more Ninja Turtles. And more Metal Heroes of whatever Discotek brings out. And then obviously Gojuger Part 2. I will probably be doing an updated version of my Gavan review. I have to relook at it. I don't remember if I recorded it after I got new equipment or beforehand. So I have to look at it to decide if I want to re-record all the lines and the live bits, just re-record the live bits, or maybe not even re-record anything, just merge together the Blu-ray review with the series review and give them the updated credit sequences. I just figured, one, since I need to do that anyway at some point, might as well do it now while Gavan is about ready to come out with the new franchise. Strike while the iron is hot, as they say. And that will just leave the last outdated Metal Heroes review is Just Beyond, and I'll figure out what to do with that at some point later. Same with Kamen Rider Blade. I kind of want to do a re-review of Kamen Rider Blade, but I want to wait to see if somebody licenses it first. If not, when I eventually get down the line, maybe catching up on all Kamen Rider series, I'll do a re-review of Blade. I know I'm saying that now, and I'm not going to be doing it this year as of right now, but I want to do the re-reviews of that, Ultraman and Ultra 7. Obviously, Ultraman and Ultra 7 are coming out to 4K later on this year, at the end of the year, so I will probably tackle those, if not this year, next year. I know I still need to review Ultraman Trigger, Decker, The Ultraman, Gridman, and the other anime. Those will just happen when they happen. And Arc, obviously. Yeah, those will all just happen when they happen. I'm not rushing into them this year. I'm taking this year a bit easy. As I said, I burnt myself out. I'm going to try some new stuff, some little or short videos that I just record talking about a subject. I actually had some ideas. I want to cover one that maybe do one about what it was like when Power Rangers was first coming out in 1993, what my kid brain was all excited for. Or like maybe elaborating on my thoughts about what I said in the O-Ranger review with the TV Asahi producers wanting Super Sentai to cut down on the human actor footage for villains so they could have more, so Power Rangers could have more footage, or maybe it was the Toei producer, I forget right now. Whoever wanted more footage that Saban could use for Power Rangers. Have a thought on that. Maybe I'll do some little thoughts on some of the writers of, like, maybe a little mini, not like maybe like a mini few-minute documentary on, like, Noboru Sugimura. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll call them, like, Toku Talks or something like that. They're just meant to be short little videos. And, well, I don't know if I want to call them Toku Talks because I might also do some on animation. Or I just do the Toku Talk, specifically Toku, and figure out one for animation. Well, we'll see what happens. But I also am going to be working on updating my Patreon stuff this year. I kind of neglected Patreon last year for actually updating, and if you're a Patreon supporter, I'm sorry if you felt I was neglecting you. I do still want to do some sort of behind the scenes type scenarios. Might not necessarily be footage, like me recording footage of a review I'm doing, or showing footage of me working on a review like I've done in the past. But I want to do something extra for Patreon, the Patreon exclusive members. If you are a Patreon supporter or have not actually gotten the Patreon, wow, I can't even speak now. If you have thought about Patreon but don't know if really you want to join a tier, I have been doing, for everyone who does the $1 tier and above, I have been doing uncut versions of my Sentai reviews. Oh my god, I just said have been like twice in the same sentence. But I've been posting uncut versions of all my Toku reviews because a lot of them, my original versions, don't meet the YouTube copyright system. So I'll do an uncut version, post that on Patreon, and then I have the YouTube edition that has the Patreon versions have extended series footage in them. Panels, I will, as long as a panel at a convention, as long as I cover a panel at a convention, I will always put them on Patreon free to watch for anyone, because that's part of my convention coverage. I will not lock those behind paid content, but I might start doing some mini videos that I discuss on topics or whatever as a Patreon exclusive. I might go that route. It won't be something that you'll feel like you're missing if you're not a Patreon supporter, but I do want to do something so that Patreon supporters can feel like they're actually getting their money's worth. I know it's $1, but still $1 goes a long way. So I want to do something more for Patreon supporters beyond the uncut videos. It's going to take me time to figure some workarounds, but I am going to start looking at updating my Patreon tiers. If you really want to see me review something, there is the $50 tier that lets you pick something. It has to be either legally, if it's something that's legally licensed in the US, it has to be something I can get on physical media to review. If it's not legally licensed in the US, it just has to be something that I can easily get access to. Those are my stipulations. Now, if it's something that would cost $200 to purchase for a $50 Patreon, be reasonable. If it's something that's pretty much my only stipulation. If it's something I can buy, if you want me to review something legally licensed, it has to be something I can legally obtain with that $50. That's how I'll put it, something like that, but in better English. Whatever. I'm like half asleep because I only got 5 hours of sleep, and that's not 5 hours of unbroken sleep. That's 5 hours total that I slept. What else? I already talked about Toku. I have a list here of all my talking points. I already talked about Tokunomics, which keep a lookout on that. Krelika's really hoping that people like it so that she can plan to do more. Oh yeah, obviously there will be an updated review of Kamen Rider Stronger at some point because Discotech will be releasing that sometime this year. And, I think that's really it I have for this news report update that has gone on quite a long time. There was a lot to talk about, which was surprising, but not surprising. So, what are your thoughts on the new Gavan Infinity based on the information we have? Are you liking it? Are you not liking it? I know some people don't like the helmets. I need to actually see the helmets in action before I can truly decide on the show itself. They could be better, but I do like the design of Luminous, who, from what it looks like, is going to be a female character. And I am not feeling the mechs just being Sword again, but it is what it is. The new Garo series, as I said, looks hopeful. I'm liking Kamen Rider Zets. And I'm not going to burn myself out on the channel again this year like I did last year. So that I'm not feeling like, oh my god, I just want to quit. I never even reviewed Godzilla -1 last year like I intended to because I was just done. Oh, and I'll do the Kamen Rider. I do want to finish the Kamen Rider movie trilogy that Media Blasters released this year. I was going to do Zet-O in December, but again, I just got lost in the shuffle of everything that happened. So I do plan to finish that. Zet-O might end up being my next Toku review outside of the Gavan update, just because it's going to take us a little while to get through Soul Brain. We've been averaging about 4 to 6 episodes every 2 weeks. And I'm not joking. Well, okay. The other day we watched episodes 1 to 4 a month ago. We watched 2 more episodes after that about 2 weeks later. Last week, we watched the next 5 episodes. And then 3 days ago, we watched another 5 episodes. So I'm not exactly kidding with how slow it's taking us to get through Soul Brain. And part of it is because the show is very slow moving. And there is a fire outbreak in almost every single episode that does get repetitious. So I will say there is that. It's not a bad show by any means. It's just not extraordinary. I like Windspectre so much better. But it does have redeeming points. It does have some really good episodes. I really love the episode that had Dinah Black's actor in it. I liked the episode that had a childhood friend of Ryoko's that was, or not Ryoko, Reiko's, who I think the subtitle's called the wrong name at one point in one of the early episodes. But I'll have to look at that later when I do go through the footage for my review. But so far, Soul Brain has been tough. It's tough to binge that show. It is very slow moving. And it's a lot of rehash and repeat. A lot. Oh, and other fun stuff. I read through the Star Wars Thrawn trilogy. That was really damn good. I have a little bit of mixed feelings on how everything ended in the final book, but overall, I really enjoyed that trilogy. That was damn good, and I'm kind of mad they did not do that in movie form. They went with what they went with. I thought that was really, really well done. I don't understand, other than having to recast the actors, I don't understand why they just didn't do the Thrawn trilogy as their final movie trilogy. They did that. Ugh. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying the Thrawn trilogy. That's been good. I'm nearly done with Shadows of the Empire. That has also been good. I've got a few more Star Wars books. I picked up Revan, the 7 X-Wing books, and Survivor's Guilt. Yeah, Survivor's Guilt, which was also a Timothy Zahn book. That's supposed to be the end of the New Republic era for Star Wars for the Legends timeline. That I'm also looking forward to reading. I don't know if I'm going to dive into them right away or not. Or if I'm going to go back to my Spider-Man comics. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that was my year-end review for 2025. Don't burn yourself out. Trying to get to $1,000 a month just isn't happening. Just, no. I need another approach that doesn't require me doing excessive amounts of video editing non-stop. And plus, I want to see if people actually want to watch more shorter videos, maybe, of me talking about Toku topics and stuff that without footage in them. Because that's another thing, is not having to worry about having copyright claims. Because these days, even a studio can even copyright claim your video for having a still image in it, which is kind of BS, but it does happen. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. But, as always, hope you are doing good. Tell me what's something you are looking forward to this year. It doesn't have to be about Toku at all. But if there is something Toku related you're looking forward to, let me know about that as well. As always, click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else Patreon, whatever else YouTube has you click in to support me. You can support me on Patreon and Bluesky at TAANN Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami. The website is creativitybydesignllc.com. You can, there are some links below for GoFundMe's, one's to help the channel survive another 10 years. Which I might end up removing and replacing with an updated type of GoFundMe. And then there is a GoFundMe for health purposes because we still have health bills to pay. Corelica's mom got diagnosed with cancer last year. I had a throat thing I had to get fixed, and they were not cheap. Nope. And that's all. So, until next time, bye.